Hello and welcome to Run Steve Run. Today I'm in Fairlie in North Ayrshire for a super muddy race up and down the 380 metre high Kaim Hill. It's my first ever hill race, with running uphill being something that I'm notoriously bad at. Will I finish last? Will I finish at all? You can find out this week on Run Steve Run. And off we go, starting on a very busy Castle Park drive this evening. 7pm start tonight, so a wee bit different from my usual early park run video, but my mum has given me special permission to be out past my bedtime, so we're all good. As you can see, I've started right at the back, given this is my first ever hill race, and my goals reflect that too. As a total newbie, my only real target going into this race is to avoid last place, but finishing within an hour would definitely be a bonus as well. Might not seem very ambitious given my recent top 10 finishes at parkrun, but remember, tonight I'm surrounded by almost exclusively club affiliated runners and experienced hill racers, with 44 of the 108 participants being members of the Westerlands Cross Country Club, so competition is much fiercer than parkrun and any other race I've done for that matter. You'll notice that everybody has their running vests on for this race, given that there's a mandatory requirement to bring a jacket and waterproof trousers, but look at this fella to the left there. He appears to be running in civilian clothes with potentially a 4-man tent in that backpack. Maybe he's just gone camping and get caught up in the excitement, or maybe he thinks we're all running for the best camping spot. And we will turn off of Castle Park Drive and into the woods now as we begin our ascent. If you look at the maps at the bottom of the screen, you'll see that the steepness of the hill gradually increases along these muddy trails over the first kilometre before crossing Fairlie Burn here. This is where terrain will change into an open hillside of what the race website describes as heather and tussocks. No idea what a tussock is, but I'm hoping that's where they grow the chocolate tea cakes. We'll have a kilometre or so of steep ascent through that before beginning to plateau at this fork in the course, where we'll begin to make a big loop past the summit, and then it's just a matter of all the way back down to the start line. Here comes the camping guy again. He's determined not to be left with a spot next to the campsite toilets. I get the first signs that this isn't going to be a walk in the park today, as I'm too busy watching the tricky terrain, and I get slapped in the face by a wee twig there. It stung quite a bit. I'm not going to let that stop me from focusing and catching the camping guy though. I can see he's starting to slow. That 4-man tent is beginning to weigh him down as I manage to go back past him, and then I'm just going to settle in behind this runner with the red bag for a wee while. There's been nowhere to overtake, so I've been happy to sit behind red bag, but once there's a space I try to overtake. I fail in the first attempt, but then in the second attempt I'm going to manage to get back past her. There we go.
Many places to run here.
Along up here, I'll just get whipped in the face again. Well, the first time I've been told I've got a face like a horse's arse. I didn't think my life meant it like this. And that's me now sitting behind a runner called Lynn, who will turn out to be formidable competition for me today. I'm forced to walk just now though, as the terrain continues to get steeper and my calves are struggling to put up with the strain. I will manage a wee jog here just to get in front for now. This will take me to the end of my first kilometre, which was completed in a time of 8:01, putting me well on pace for a sub 1 hour run. The next kilometre is easily the steepest and muddiest kilometre of the race, so it will be important I don't drop too much time over the next kilometre. I'm noticing a lot of people with their hands on their knees as we walk up these steep bits, trying to transfer some of the strain to their arms, I assume. I try it, but I'm not sure how effective it is. Maybe should have brought some walking poles, but then again, I don't see anyone with them today, so maybe that's not permitted in the Scottish hill running circuit. I don't know. If you know, let me know in the comments, and while you're there, why not smash the like button and hit the subscribe button to stay up to date with my latest videos. And coming through this wee gate now as I reach the top of the first uphill section. Very happy to feel the sweet relief of a small downhill. I'm not going to rush things here as the burning sensation in my calves eases off a wee bit. One thing I didn't expect here was just how wobbly my legs feel despite only being about 1.5k into the race. I've only done 2 tough hill sessions in preparations for this run though, so my legs are in shock at the moment. The guy about 3 places in front of me nearly goes fully down here. I can't describe just how muddy it is. I'm getting in up to my knees at times, and I'm hoping I don't make the same mistake. I do make a wee slip, but I am okay. I'm going to make my way down to the burn. The burn is not much of an obstacle, but it is the end of the respite as we start to make our way up this hill, where we will soon be released into the open hillside of heather and tussocks. And just look at the state of the mud on the side of this hill. Absolutely clambering up through this. It's more of a muddy ladder than it is an actual hill. Not be long till I'm in all fours. It's just a case of following everybody else through at the moment. And it actually gets a wee bit steeper as we get around here. Can you believe it? Something to hold on for now. That will end very shortly as I turn and start to make my way up the hill. At this point, this is where Redbag decides she's getting past me. I'm for absolutely none of that, so I literally get on all fours and clamber my way up past it. She's definitely going to be my enemy for the day, or one of my enemies for the day. Right, now make it through and we'll start to see the open hillside. I have to be honest, in reflection, I think that some of the dark patches in amongst that mud might have been jobbies. I really hope no, but that's just part and parcel of hill racing, I suppose. There's a guy with a mucky leg, that's the guy that nearly fell right in his arse. Let's start making our way up the hill. Let's hope nobody falls in their arse up here. You might be able to tell from my fast forward speed that I have been soldiering on through this essentially featureless heather. It's been a relentless travelator, a unsure footing as I've absolutely been frying my calves and quads, pushing things to the max, trying to get up as quick as I can, but I've not been able to break into a jog again. I've managed to continue for a few minutes and I'm actually going to have to take a wee break here because I just can't put up with the pain. I'm going to have to give my calves, I'm going to have to give a wee rest, but I will get the chance to look back and see how far I've climbed and the amazing view over the Scottish coastline, looking out towards Great Cumbrae with Bute behind it. I'm going to lose some places as I do that, but I will in fact have to do that a few more times before I reach the top, so my calves are absolutely dying now, my quads will be dying as well. I'm getting a wee bit out of breath, but that's not really the main problem, just searching the horizon up there for the top of the hill, but I've still got a good bit to go before things start to level off. As I stop for a rest and I look at the view, a runner going past me asks how far I've got in my watch and I offer some baseless positivity.
Nearly there, kinda.
One thing I really enjoyed on the day before, during and after the race was the camaraderie between all the runners. Fair bit of banter as well. Somebody here shouts up jokingly, "It's got to top out summer," and I say,
"Stop swanspering in the clouds."
Obviously I'm not being serious. It doesn't go as high as the clouds, but I will be going as high as the clouds in a couple of weeks when I run up the mountain Ben Lomond. I'm starting to worry that my wee skinny legs will not be able to cope with it. But I'm not going to back out now. It'll either be one of these stories that I overcome a great challenge, or I get airlifted and it makes a great video. Right now though, we can see first place coming through.
Man coming through.
He's certainly not been skipping leg day. It's last year's winner, number 352, Kieran Cooper. This year's current leader, hoping to do the double, but there is other runners close behind him. Here they come. I'll need to get out their road and let them through. As you can hear, my breathing is pretty laboured, but at the time I didn't actually feel like I was out of breath. It was really just the pain in the quads and calves that were causing the problem, and I tried to style that out by having some banter with my fellow runners.
If anybody wants to start crying, I'll not judge them. That means I can start after you, I don't want to be first.
Classic run Steve run pattern. As one of the fast guys come down the hill, I accidentally get in the way, but like a consummate professional, he leaps over the heather like a young rabbit, just loving his run. The director told us at the start line that for the last 3 years it's been sunny, but this year it's been pouring down for a couple of days, hence the thick mud. Again though, didn't he come here for an easy run? And to be honest, at this point, it's starting to hurt a lot. And as I take yet another break to catch my breath and look at the scenery, look who's going to come back past me.
Oh yeah, that's the rain probably. That's what I'll tell her.
Wee bit of banter there as Lynn overtakes me. She's also joined by Red Bag and another runner whose outfit strangely makes me crave those little fruit salad sweets you used to get in a 10p mix-up. And I have finally reached the end of the second kilometre in a time of 16 minutes and 3 seconds. Probably the slowest and hardest kilometre I've ever ran, as I approach a guy that makes me very jealous.
You want to swap?
I'd love nothing more than a comfy place to lie down now, but I doubt he's got the space or inclination to let me spoon him, so I power on and re-overtake Red Bag again. Lynn and fruit salad have disappeared into the distance, but we definitely started to level off a bit now. My legs are cooked, but I need to pick up the pace if I want to catch Lynn and Red Bag. Be able to start running hopefully again soon.
I'm nearly there. What a view.
As I get to this wee cairn, I celebrate by showing off, thinking that that's the top. But it's not, dafty. I also remember the Red Bag is on my heels and I don't have time for any fannying about, so quickly get back on the train. As we approach the actual top, I was overtaken by a couple of runners there as I dealt with a stitch, both of whom I thought were Red Bag, but it seems I've still been able to fend her off for now.
I thought that was a tap back there. Gutted.
And I've just about completed my third kilometre in a much improved 9 minutes and 58 seconds. Still not quite on pace for a sub 1 hour, as that 16-minute second kilometre really hurt me. But it's all downhill from here. Let's hope I can make up some good time. And I come to the unfortunate part of my race where I now have to try and change camera batteries mid-run. The last time at the Kirkintilloch 12.5k when I changed batteries, it took me about 30 seconds, 45 seconds maybe, and it went fairly well. But this time I'm now running on a nice even surface. It took me over 2 minutes of stumbling through uneven ground, tripping over rocks, nearly dropping my battery at one point, and actually eventually having to just stop dead and finish the job. By the time it was done, Redbag had actually flown past me, and you can now see her as just a wee figure disappearing over the next hill.
Some catching up to do.
Certainly have got some catching up to do. Big thanks to all the volunteers that stood up the top of this blustery hill and all along the course and showed us where to go. Not a lot of people here, so I definitely could have got lost if it wasn't well marked, and I'm also moving from one volunteer across to where I can see another volunteer at the top of this hill. I'm starting to worry that I might be in last place here, so if a wee look back, for a moment I don't see anybody, but there is actually somebody away in the distance.
Thought I was last, not quite. That's my first time, so second last would be a win. I will.
And enjoy the day.
It's beautiful.
And as beautiful as the view is, I'll not be stopping to enjoy it. I have to say, the camera change lost me some time, but it's absolutely recharged my legs. Time to get a move on and shift down this hill, and hopefully maybe catch Redbag, Lynn to catch. Don't know where Fruit Salad went either. I think that camping guy's still behind me. Oh, there's a camping guy there with his sleeping bag. But time to get flying down this hill and hopefully catch some runners. Okay, maybe stop for just a wee second to get a shot of the view. And we're off. This terrain looks super runnable on the camera, but actually it's soft and hard in places, very unpredictable in places. Sometimes you'll sink in further than expected, causing you to nearly fall forward, and then other places it looks soft, so you step really hard, but then it ends up kind of jarring you. Not to mention the constant risk of rolling your ankle in heather, hidden stones. It's a game of constant concentration and adjustment that requires a lot more brain power than I had expected before I did this run. It's not something that I'd thought about. It's actually a game I'm really enjoying playing. I feel a bit like a mountain goat hopping from place to place. It certainly beats the death march to the summit that's thankfully now behind me. At this point, I decide to run down the heather rather than take the muddy path. Unfortunately, I get a raindrop on my lens just down here a wee bit, which will feature prominently until the end. But that is the end of my 4th kilometre, completing it in 8:25, so beginning to bring things back on track. Sub 1 hour is starting to look doable if I can maintain this pace. I've made good progress down the hill, but I'm still not seeing Redbag or Lynn. However, you can see Fruit Salad is just ahead of me. I'll take a bit of a risk as I make it down this muddy, grassy ladder that you might remember me clambering up on all fours before. I realise that I've got to go the right side of the orange flag. I'm not sure if I actually had to there, but it would have felt like cheating to go past her and not go the right side of it. So I'm going to make it down there and back onto a wee bit of flat path before this marshal gives me a heads up.
Thank you.
The marshal was advising me there to go down the left hand side of the path, as the right hand side has been really chewed up by a lot of the other runners coming through. And who is this just ahead of me? We've got that lady in the pink that I followed up some of the hill, and I believe that is Lynn that's just in front of her as well. So come down through the burn quite quickly. And we've got the muddy section here again, if you remember. Time to get into the deep stuff again.
Oh, I was about up to the knee that time. Jeez, I was nearly swimming. Thank you very much.
And as I make it through the deep mud, that does now mean that the worst of the terrain is behind me. My legs are feeling pretty good at this point as well because I've been doing a lot of downhill, so it's time to get some pace on and hopefully get some overtakes as well. Not long to go now, maybe a kilometre left, I'd say. Looks like I've got about a kilometre left, maybe just slightly more than that. We jump over that muddy patch, and I'm going to try and make some overtakes on these runners here. There isn't much space to get past folk, and actually controlling the descent is quite difficult. As I go past this runner, I actually give her a wee bump.
Careful. I thought you were getting in that tree there.
Had to grab her arm to stop her flying off the track. Apologies to you, whoever you were. But as I move down here, I'm growing in confidence. My favourite trail shoes, my Saucony Peregrine 14s, are giving me loads of confidence as I am on the tail now of a familiar competitor. There's Lynn just ahead of me as she slows down quite a lot to get past this slippy rocky part, and I use the trees to swing on and make my way down past her. She pays me a compliment. And this bit of terrain, whilst it's flatter, was a very tricky bit for me. Ankles were tired and had taken a lot of battering and bruising over the heather and all the different terrain. And these wee sharp rocks were very tricky to not slip on or make a mistake on. And that's what it's all about now, just not making a mistake. As I finished my 5th kilometre in 8:15, very much improved again. So I should definitely finish in under an hour. Unless I do make a mistake, let's hope that doesn't happen. It's time to just enjoy the last of the downhill, finish strong, see if I can find Redbag. She must have had an excellent downhill too.
I never really know what's going on.
And as I turn onto the home straight, I realise that my target is going to be met.
Well, we're under an hour. It's not bad going.
And as I check my watch, I also realise that I've got a chance of coming under 55 minutes here, so I can just kick on and finish strong. So that's what I'm going to do, just maintain a good jog and maybe try to increase the pace a wee bit.
And cramp is kicking in bad.
And I start to feel the flickers of cramp in my calves. And the cramp gets worse as I approach a runner who has already finished. He's getting changed at his car and he notices me struggling.
Oh, cramp, man. Might get a backie.
He declines my request for a piggyback over the finish line, which I believe may be against Scottish hill running regulations. Anyway, at this point it is a sort of limp home mode. My left calf is all but completely seized up and I hear a noise from behind.
You can't beat me. Well done.
As Lynn manages to catch and overtake me in the last few metres, absolutely gutted. Well done to her. Raging. Let's listen to me cross the finish line.
Thank you. Woo! Well done. Oh, my legs, my calves both. I nearly had to go down, cramping so bad. I can't believe you did that to me right at the end.
And as Lynn enjoys my disappointment at getting beat, let's check what time I finished in. It was 55 minutes and 13 seconds. So there you have it, first hill race done. It was brutal at times, but a phenomenal experience, and I look forward to doing more throughout the year. And that's your race director there. Big thanks to him for putting on such a great race. Would highly recommend that race for somebody who wants to give themselves a challenge and doesn't mind getting stuck into some mud in the hills. Well done to Lynn, she put on a great performance at the end there, and well done to Redbag, whoever or wherever she is just now. Great descent from her. Not sure where the camping guy got to, maybe it's still at the top of the hill, attaching some guy ropes potentially. Last but not least, a congratulations to Ryan Chebut, who won in a time of 28 minutes, keeping a pace of under 5 minutes per kilometre, despite the bloody big massive hill in the way. Unbelievable. Well, that's me done for this week. Next week I'll be running something likely a bit flatter, hopefully a bit drier, and definitely not as sore in the calves. Where will it be? You can find out next time on Run Steve Run.